some people are starting to get this idea that grappling and wrestling is the most dominant martial art in the world. Now, I think partially it is true, partially. But here's the scenario under which having a good grapple and wrestling game makes you the best, right? So I think in a sport situation where there's no weapons, where there's no other attackers, where nothing can kind of like surprise you, under that scenario, one-on-one combat, a good wrestler with great grappling is the best and the most difficult problem to deal with. You look at Khabib, right? Khabib versus like somebody like Ilya would still be a very tough fight to call because Khabib does have a large size advantage over him at that weight class. So I don't know if Ilya could stop the wrestling. Maybe he could. He could probably knock Khabib cold out. I don't know. But I'm saying you can see that there could be a problem there, right? You can see that. You look at somebody like Hamza. Hamza is pretty much dominating everyone. Islam dominates most people. It's fair to say that these high-level wrestle grapplers are very hard to deal with in a sport situation in MMA, right?
Yeah.
In the street, it is not advantageous to wrestle someone or to grapple someone. That person could have a knife. That person could have a friend who gets you from behind. Anything can happen. You don't want to be in a stationary position wrestling with someone trying to get a submission. That's dangerous in the street. You see what I'm saying? So yes, it's good when it comes to one-on-one in a controlled environment, but give me two people now. Your whole grapple game pretty much goes out the window when there's two people. Okay, you grappling the first one, the second one comes, he punches you in the head. You're grappling the first one, the second one comes, he stabs you. Anything could literally happen. That wrestling being stationary is completely ineffective in a real street situation. Let's take the same scenario. Somebody who has good hands and good footwork. He moves his feet, he has good hands, right? This person is a much better effective fighter in the street. Why? Because he's going to be moving his feet around. And what's one thing that people can't do in general, even in sports? Most people can't punch and move at the same time. It's very rare. You got Peter Yan, people like that who can step through and punch while they're moving. He's one in a million, though. Most people, they have to stop moving and then punch. So how much less can a person in the street punch while moving? So if you got somebody who's a boxer, good footwork, he's moving his feet, they're just going to run right into punches. Boom. His boy comes, runs into a punch. And guess what? No one's going to come and surprise you because you're moving your feet aware of your surroundings. No one's going to stab you. You know, you look, you see everything that's going on. You're moving your feet and you're parking. And I think that's the best defense for a real life situation is going to be boxer with good footwork and not kickers, not karate, not taekwondo, because time and time, how many times have you seen somebody throw a head kick and fall down? How many times?
A lot.
You see that all the time. Imagine on the street, you don't know what the environment's like. You don't know if there's dirt in this little particular spot. If there's a little spot right here is slippery, you're in the street environment.
You know what's funny? That you bring this conversation up, this topic up.
What's up?
I saw this Instagram post recently, and then I was going back and forth with somebody in the comments, and it was the same type of situation, but it was John Jones, prime John Jones versus prime Mike Tyson in a street fight. People were arguing in the comments who would win, right? Me, I was backing John Jones. I said John Jones would beat Mike Tyson in a street fight. I'm biased, so that's why I say that. But so that's an interesting take because you were saying about the kicking. So what about if there's a guy who has he has like insane, like his dexterity, like on his ability to kick is insane. His balance is insane. His precision with his kicks is insane. How do you think that would fare? Somebody like John Jones who has good dexterity, good control of his kicks, the size that he is, like how do you think somebody like that would fare in a similar situation, but him being a kicker?
So I think for you to throw kicks in general, you have to be stationary too. Like there's really nothing much that you can do while moving your feet besides punching. You can back away, check hook and keep going. Park and keep going. Kicks take you to park for a moment and throw a kick. When you throw a kick over here, his friend could just come and grab you from behind. I'm not saying it's the worst thing in the world, but what kind of style are you fighting with, right? Are you talking about Muay Thai? Because Muay Thai is stationary. You're going to get destroyed in the street. Yeah, you're going to be able to get one or two, but if they kind of come, if they're all like coming at you and you're not moving, you're standing stationary, they're going to get you. You need to be moving around and moving your feet. If you're moving around, though, are you going to be throwing kicks that much, you think? Like moving, jump, spinning, kick? That's going to cost you a lot of energy. You don't want to spend that much energy in a situation where you don't know when it's going to end either. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of things to think about. Like kicks cost more energy. Kicks take more time. You have to stop. You could trip. It's just way more risky. You know what I'm saying? And Mike Tyson versus John Jones, like Yes, John Jones, because once again, you brought it back down to a one-on-one scenario. We're talking about a
Okay.
street scenario where there's knives involved, where there's multiple people involved, and movement is your number one best self. I mean, think about this, Steve. If you wanted to hold your thought too, don't forget what you're thinking.
Okay.
If you wanted to guarantee not get beat up,
You gotta
what's
move.
run away,
You gotta move.
run, right? Just take off, run. It's the
But if you're
best
in a
way to
situ
defend yourself.
but if you're in a situation where obviously running is not an option, then obviously the movement is what's gonna benefit you, and the least amount of energy to that you would have to use, which is not just trying to keep the attack simple. So yes, boxing would be perfect.
Using punches.
But I feel like the John Jones and Tyson is a tricky one to call even in the street because they both crazy. They're both
Yeah, but John
lunatics.
Jones is gonna grab him and break his neck. So
You think that in that situation, even if there's people around him, you think John Jones will still win?
yeah, I mean, because remember, you got to remember, Gordon Ryan said in one of these videos, he's like, grappling with someone who doesn't know how to grapple is like playing with a kid. And that's
Yeah.
very, I mean, that's very true. You've been grappling for a long time, right? All right, let's say if you grapple with like an average blue belt, right? Like just like an average blue belt, how easy is it for you to like kind of like beat up an
You
average blue
just
belt,
do whatever you want.
right? And he's a blue belt. Like that means he's been training for a while. But it's like you're still like, oh, this guy is easy. Like this is to me, this is nothing.
Yeah.
Imagine we're talking about nothing, zilch, nada. Do you know what that
Yeah.
is?
But
That's like
that's what
playing
I'm
with your children. Like I have two daughters. That's like playing with a little kid.
but that's what I'm saying. So like that was my argument to the person because the person was saying that Mike Tyson, he has experience in the street fighting, but it's like I just feel like when you have two guys that are trained, but one has more tools than the other, it doesn't matter. The guy with the more tools is gonna win. But what you're saying is just if you have to pick one tool to use in a street scenario, boxing is obviously the best one
But
because
defensive box, not just boxing,
yeah, no, of
defensive.
course. Yeah, just just boxing as a total, right? Just the box, the science of boxing in itself. If it's just it's the best because you even was in a situation like that. Man, I remember you was telling me years ago when you was living in Connecticut. Connecticut different. When
He tried
they
to
tried
rob
they
him.
tried to
Yeah,
they tried to get you, and it was like what two of them, and it was you was too much for them. You was a kid at the time,
yeah.
right? Not even a pro fighter at the time. So it's like movement is key, right? It's always been that way, which is why like stationary fighters, like, what is you doing? Retire. Like, what is you doing? Like,
I
it's
mean,
not.
even yeah, exactly. You know, that's the number one form of defense. When you think about defense, movement, range, your ability to be a loose, that's the number one form of defense. So when we're talking about self defense,
Yeah,
how is it that all these martial arts that are offense based can be called the best self defense? That
yeah,
makes no sense. Wrestling is not self defense. If you shoot a double leg on somebody, that's offensive.
yeah,
Now, to be fair, if they're running at you and then you wrestle them, that's like a defensive
exactly.
maneuver.
But
But
that
if they're like backing away and then you shoot on them or something like that, at that point, it's not really self defense. It's just offense.
because it's in the title, self defense. Defend yourself.
Defend. It's a defense.
The, honestly, the best form of self defense. You don't even gotta pay nobody to teach you it. You just gotta run.
Run. No, no, like seriously, like run. Learn how to juke. Learn how to
What
scuffle.
I'm
Learn how to
saying.
scream. Learn how to, like, because all this stuff where you talk about, Krav Maga, like you take the wrist and you bend. Are you
Yeah,
serious?
you gotta get close to do that. It's not. It's
You're
that's
stationary.
exactly, and also your ability of success in that doing that garbage is drastically low. Like you're
What are
not
we
gonna
talking about? Like,
not
a
practical.
girl's never going to be able to pull that off. But you know what a girl can do? She can move her feet and you can fuck around and trip. And now you
Basketball
trip
players,
out of there.
basketball might be the best form of self defense.
Duke some more, right? You see what I'm
You
saying?
just break somebody's ankle.